Namaskaram. Today we are going to talk about mathematization. I personally think that mathematization is going to be the key skill that you may need to acquire in 21st century to lead an effective life. Let us try to understand mathematization. I will start with a small activity. You need to write down the total number of words that you can probably write in half a minute. So you are going to write down the number of words you can actually write in half a minute. I hope you have written that number. Now let us check whether you are in a position to actually write those many number of words in half a minute. Once you complete writing these words, and after counting, you will realize that you have actually written more number of words than you have imagined earlier. So this is what precisely happens in almost all situations. We are assuming that our abilities are restricted to certain extent, but in reality, our abilities are much more than what we perceive. But this is not a session on self-awareness. Let us try to understand the mathematics behind this question and the answer you have given. Is there any mathematics involved in this question answer? Some of you will say that yes, I have counted the number of words. And then I have compared this number with the number that I have imagined earlier. So there is something called comparison of numbers, and hence this question and answer can be connected to mathematics. But can you check the correctness of the question? You see, you will realize that the words can have different character length. If I want to compare your performance with someone else, it is not possible. So the question should have been, how many numbers can you write in half a minute? No. Question should have been, how many characters can I write in half a minute? So if that is the question, then you can probably compare your performance with someone else. So what we have done is we have tried to connect a problem or a situation to mathematics. I say mathematics is life and life is mathematics. And what is the mathematics of life? You can see the slide. Here it is written, life with love is happiness. Life without love is sadness. Twice of life will be an addition of happiness and sadness. And life is ultimately an average of happiness and sadness. So life is connected to mathematics, and mathematics is connected to life. And if we are able to see the life with the mathematical lens, then we can say definitely that we are in a position to mathematize. So what is mathematization? Mathematization is a process of thinking about and making sense of the world with the mathematical lens. So let us try to understand with a simple example. I'm going to show you a timetable, a railway timetable, and you have to find out the slowest train during monsoon. Use the sticky note on the Jamboard and give the answer. So here there are no Jamboards or sticky notes. If you have got a Jamboard, you can write down the answer and can show to everyone. So here you see the timetable, a railway timetable, a Konkan railway timetable. Got so many trains, Konkan, Kanya, Mandavi, then Jan Shadabdi, Matsyagandha, CSTM, Superfast, Mangala, and Netravati. Some of you will say that I cannot compare the speed of the train because the distance and time are not given in the timetable. At the most, we have got some time given in the timetable and no distance given. Then how can I compare the speeds? Then once you critically analyze this timetable, you will realize that if I can keep the distance constant, then speed can be compared to time. So keeping distance constant, speed is inversely proportional to time, or speed is equal to distance upon time. So speed is inversely proportional to time if distance is kept constant. So can I keep the distance constant? For that you will check the timetable and you will realize that all the trains are passing through Badgaon and Ratnagiri. And therefore, if you are fixing the distance as the distance between Madgaon and Ratnagiri, then you can compare the speed with time, and therefore speed is inversely proportional to the time. So what we have done in this situation is to convert the real life situation into a mathematical problem, and then we have solved that mathematical problem to understand the real life situation. So this process of mathematicization will have certain steps to be followed. The first and foremost step in solving a real life situation using mathematics is to identify the problem in the context. Here the context is the railway timetable and we need to know the slowest train in the monsoon season. So we have got some information, the time of travel, the expected time of travel of trains, and different trains and their stations. So organizing the problem with the help of mathematical concepts will be the second step in solving the problem. So we have got some concept of speed, time, distance. Speed is related to distance, time, and then if distance is kept constant, speed is connected to time. Now, how can we convert this real problem into a mathematical problem? So we know that we need to keep the distance constant. Therefore, we have to identify the stations through which all the trains are passing. And we have found that Madgaon and Ratnagiri are the two stations so that we can fix the distance. So speed is inversely proportional to the time. So we have converted the real problem into a mathematical problem. And then we have solved the problem to identify the train which is the slowest. But once we get the answer, that is not the end in itself. We need to understand whether this answer makes some sense. What are the conditions under which the answer will be correct? Do we need to make some assumptions? Are there any restrictions that you need to impose in getting that answer? Is there any meaning to that answer that this XYZ train is the slowest of all these trains? So this is very crucial, making sense of mathematical solutions in real. So in short, the process of mathematization is all about converting a real life problem into a mathematical problem, then solving that problem and making meaning out of that. So if you want to see the process, first thing is identify the problem in context. Then formulate a mathematical problem out of the real life problem. Then use mathematical ideas or concepts and employ that to get mathematical results. These mathematical results need to be interpreted and evaluated in the real life context. In short, mathematization is an outlook that we need to develop. And this outlook will help us in solving various problems in our life. But we need to know the process. The process is very simple. We need to formulate, then we need to employ, and then finally we need to interpret and evaluate the results. Or in short, we should be able to convert a real problem into a mathematical problem, and a mathematical results need to be interpreted and evaluated in the real life context. Thank you. Thank you so much.